What's up? Hey, so there's something very beautiful about just not caring anymore about certain things in life, about what people think about you, just knowing the fact that your days are numbered. So who cares, right? In terms of being embarrassed or not going for your dreams or whatever, right? So this is for authentic people with good hearts. This broadcast, if you will. If you are flawed, that's fine, because we're all flawed. What we want to recognize, the thing that I've recognized is, so by the way, it's 2 days until I do the live performance, and this is I'll just do a quick recap. 5 days before, the fifth element was Operation Loyal Guardian, of the social enterprise. This is the, stay with me, I'm exhausted. It's like, it's 2:30 in the morning, so it's actually tomorrow, but I committed to get this broadcast done today. Much respect to anyone that does daily broadcasts. It's pretty brutal, so I've been doing it every day for the past several days. And so the point is, today is day 2, the second element. The 5 days before the event, the fifth element is Operation Loyal Guardian. The fourth element, the 4 days before, is entertainment e-commerce. The third element was the Mother Thriving Lives group. Today we're going to cover Quarless, which is my surname, and there's a backstory to it and why this becomes one of the 5 elements. Tomorrow we cover the final element, which you could probably guess what it is. Electro Rock Love. That's the final element, which completes the 5, and then this is basically becoming what I'm dedicating my life to and pursuing it until I take my final breath, whenever that is. So I'm feeling pretty good about it because, and this is the beauty, I'll get into it right now. The fact that I'm born, okay. Ever since I was a little kid, it's like I came into this world in a certain way. And the way was authentic, trusting, honest, but some would perceive that as being, what's the term? Foolish, gullible, okay? But this is what I remember clearly. When I was very small, I noticed beautiful things. Like, for example, I'm going to use a box turtle as an example. So when I was very small, I grew up in New Jersey, and I had this little property, and I would see, they would always travel alone, but there'd be like this random box turtle, and it would just wander around, and I could go up to it, and it might be a bit fearful. Maybe it would tuck into the shell a bit, and then it would see that I was friendly, and it would emerge, it'd pop its head out, and then I would just pick it up, and it was like this cool little animal, okay? And what I liked about this animal was that it was very peaceful, it was very friendly, but the main point is that it traveled alone, and it had its home on its back. So anywhere it went, it was at peace, it was at home, and it was a loner. So that's basically been a little bit like how I've been. And part of the thing that what's the term? Is it acerbated? I don't know. Part of the thing that made this a reality in terms of where I am now in my life is that I was abused as a child because people saw this innocence and this vulnerability, and they took advantage of that, and then that affected my ability to properly establish connections, I guess, with people. So what I've come to realize is this is my reality. So I'm in this existence, and this is a beautiful thing, what I'm expressing, and I'm glad that we live in a time where we do have this ability that I could just broadcast globally, and whoever sees this, so the point is, I'm doing this to connect with somebody, even if it's one person, that they get this message and it's helpful to them. So the message is, no matter how effed up people are, and I have to make this point very clearly because I fell for the Hollywood BS where there's this, So imagine like these movies or whatever where it's like, you know, they use all the right kind of music. They use all the right types of background music and the story plot and like the characters, you know, and they create these structures of like the family should be structured like this, friends, you know, with these definitions, like, you know, when you have brothers are like this, or, you know, these structures. Okay, growing up with different types of TV shows, I basically became brainwashed through media, and it's all bullshit. Okay, so the reality is we're all just people, we're all just beings, and every asshole or bitch in the world, and I normally, you know, this is the first time I've ever cursed on social, so whatever. I try to keep it PC for kids, but this is just the reality of life, right? So you got all types of people in the world, and this is the key. They are somebody's, let's take an asshole. They're born into this world, so they're somebody's son, okay? So somebody, every asshole in the world, some parent is like, oh man, my son's an asshole, or my daughter's a bitch. Damn, that sucks, right? Or maybe the father or mother are like this, or maybe you have siblings like this, or cousins, or people in your work environment, or your neighbors, right? So it's like, it's just a mix of all kinds of people, and people are fucked up, and some people are good, right? And within this, though, a lot of the people that are not good, they're malicious, they're nasty, they are cunning and manipulative, and they like to put on a fake face and stay with me, pretend that they are someone who values you, and they get to know you, and they mirror you, right? And they're feeling you, and then they get information from you, and they secretly use that information to hurt you in some way, okay? And it makes them feel good to hurt you in some way or whatever, right? So what I'm sharing is I understand the nature of reality. I'm not gullible. And the thing is, and this is, so I think there are people on the fence, right? And this is for you, the person who is authentic, who's honest, who's quality, okay? Because the reality is we do exist. We might not exist in the numbers that we wish we did, but we exist. And we have to deal with these other characters, and many of them are like chameleons, right? So it's just the nature of reality. But what I've learned, what I'm not going to do, and this is what I'm committing to, is I'm not going to become bitter or become like them. So it's like, hey, there's a potential that someone's going to screw me over. So let me put out, you know, I understand the idea of you got to protect yourself and not be totally gullible, right? So you gotta sort of guard the information you share and this kind of thing. That, you know, that's something that you need to learn and adjust to. But the idea of being totally deceptive and sneaky and manipulative because someone else might do it to you, or screw somebody over first before they screw you over, I choose not to like live in that reality. So I do have to deal with people, right? Obviously. But, and this is part of my whole point, I believe that some of us that resonate with this feeling, it's like a spiritual feeling, right? It's very common. It's very simple. Stay with me. It's like, I don't know, like religious laws or spiritual laws. It's very simple. Like even in, you know, I'm thinking of some Christian passage where it talks about don't speak with an evil tongue. And the concept, you know, many people think it relates to cursing, but I believe it's more about, you know, it's not about saying a curse word. You might say something like that person's dumb, or you might say something that's nasty. You put out negative energy into the world. So it's like, so the idea is you want to avoid speaking ill. You don't want to steal, right? So it's very simple. It's like you don't want to damage people mentally, emotionally, physically. you don't want to take things that aren't yours, right? So it's like you don't want to kill people, right? So it's like these just common rules where it's like live and let live sort of idea, right? So, but so what I want to express is that there are people, if this is you, there are people like you, and I'm one of them. And what we need to do is we need to let ourselves shine brightly and not allow these other types of characters, because I think there are people on the fence that are good people. They get screwed over, they become bitter, they don't trust anymore, right? So it's like these kind of people are the ones that we need to shine brightly for, because they're one of us, and they've been affected by these what do we want to call them? These like bottom feeders. And these bottom feeders come in all forms. That's what I've come to learn. So you have to be very cautious, okay? Because they come in the form of family members and friends, and and they disguise themselves very well, and it's pretty nasty. So the reason we're focusing on the second element being Quarless as a brand name, I'll tell you another memory I have. So as a small child, as I mentioned, there was the box turtle, which sort of, it traveled on its own, and it was independent, and it had its home on its back, but it was very benevolent and friendly and this kind of thing. But I also have a memory of my father, and that memory, when I was very, very small, he would watch boxing, and he had this armchair, and he would elevate himself, up out of the chair, and so his butt's off the chair, and his feet would dangle, and he would wiggle his feet like this, and he'd go, "Oh Lord," when he's watching this boxing match, right? And he'd be like, "Boom, broogadong," right? Like when he's watching it. So I was very small, and I was like, man, this guy's intense, right? But this was my father, and he was a good man, okay? So very intense. I had my occasional whooping when I got out of line, but other things that he shared with me was that I would see him occasionally cry, right? So you get like emotional. And what he expressed to me, and he did it through, we just started chatting, we would just talk and stuff, and I saw him get emotional sometimes, and he would tell me a story where he dealt with like attorneys, dealing with like labor relations, and he would have to make speeches, but part of his job, he would do negotiations. So he said that he would get up in front of a big room with all kinds of people. This included people on his side and, enemy attorneys and everything. And he would give some kind of speech. But in the speech, as he was talking about the subject, tears would begin to come from his eyes, right? And he, because he was into what he was saying, he was expressing himself. And then he told me a secret. And he said that people's perception of you is not what the reality is. So he said that these opposing attorneys would see him tear up, and they'd go, "Oh, this guy's soft. This guy's weak." So they would prepare their case in the negotiation for some weak guy. But what they didn't know was he was actually a spirit warrior, and he had this energy flowing through him, and I have it as well. So I want to share that, because I now understand what he meant, because it's a passion that's so strong that your body, it's something spiritual, okay? And it's so strong that your body doesn't know how to handle it. So as it flows through you, I equate it to like, it's almost like you're a wire, and electricity needs to flow through you, but the electricity is too powerful. So the wire's smoking, it's snapping, you hear some crackles, okay? This kind of idea. And that comes out in the form of like tears and intensity, maybe a little bit of shaking, okay? But it is awesome to have this experience and feel it. So, and the other point was, in these battles and in life and the things that I learned from my father. And I want to share right now, as of this date, September 22nd, 2023, my father is still living. He is 86 years old. He's still with it, in and out. He's still with it. But I just want to express my gratitude for that. And I know that there are many people watching this, people that I know personally, that their parents, I'll just keep it real, right? Your parents are no longer with you, and some of them left early. So I just want to express just gratitude, and I want to share with you this feeling, okay? Like appreciating people in your life. And this also includes the younger people. So there are older people, there are younger people, and what I'm talking about here are the good quality people. And we're all flawed, and nobody's perfect, but I want to talk about the ones that, because, and this is the honor I want to give to my father, because it actually worked against me, okay? Because he was such a strong character growing up. He was such a strong character in my life, that and an honorable man and a good man, and teaching me about what it is to be a good person. And then that affected my perception of reality. And I'm guilty, because he actually warned me. And he would even say, like, Matthew 7, chapter 7:1, judge not lest ye be judged, right? And he talks about there's these other characters out there that are going to be he basically, when I was like a small little kid, he was explaining like haters and people that are deceptive and people that are fucked up. But he explained it in a way where it sort of went over my head, and I just saw this great man who was very real and direct with me. And that's how I approach life, being real and direct with other people. And then that's where the bottom feeders appeared. And those were the ones that were like, oh, this guy's a straight shooter. Let me pretend to be a straight shooter too. And I'll show him a hand that's bullshit, and he'll show me his real hand, and then I'll fuck him over and manipulate him. This is so good. So, and the problem is, so I learned from that experience. But it was the thing that really has brought me to this level where now I feel so empowered to just be my authentic self and not care anymore, okay? Because it was the people that saw so there are those characters that I would have to deal with and I would learn from, but these were outsiders. What I had to learn was that the people that were supposed to have my back were stabbing me in the back, and basically I came to realize that I want to say Tom Hardy said this quote, but I think it was Tom Hardy, but he basically said that your biggest hater, I'm paraphrasing, your biggest hater is going to be someone very close to you. And your biggest fan is going to be a stranger. So it's very, very true. And what I have found since I've been pursuing these projects and creating the music and just getting my ideas out there and just being vulnerable and F it, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I'm getting responses. I'm getting feedback from people. And the beautiful thing is it's not about numbers. It's like, as I mentioned in another stream, I've focused on creating the music for myself because I need to express it, I need to create it, and I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it. I believe it's spiritually inspired actually, because it communicates messages of loyalty and monogamy and authenticity in a way that I think is a bit edgy and attractive. So I have a feeling that it has potential to bring to have people that are in the middle, like I said. Maybe they could listen to some cool music, but it's music that's degenerative and shitty, but I can capture them bring them into where they like this music, and then they're getting a good message. So, but the point is, that's my goal, my ultimate goal, but my purpose is to create it for myself with possibly having one other person. And right now, there is one person. I'm just focused. I can't see who you are because I don't want to get off track. I don't want to get off track. So I just see one. Hi. And over here, I think 0. All right. So right now, there's one person, and maybe what I'm doing right now is having some effect on you, and that's what I hope for. Okay. So I just want to make the point that. So the idea of stay with me. All right. So it's very simple. I am the turtle. So what I realized when I was a little kid and I would see this box turtle going through my property, and it was benevolent, and it was friendly, and I was able to engage with it and play with it and communicate, and then let it free, and it just was going through life with its home on its back. Okay? That's what I'm doing. And part of that is who I came into this world with, my identity. So my identity is Jim Quarless, but I have this name called Quarless, right? And I think the potential and the value of the name is of all the different names people have, right? Some names are very generic, right? Like Smith or Jones. No offense to any Smith or Joneses out there, right? But that's what I mean. There's like Smith or Jones. This is similar, like in Chinese names. There's like Wong and Chan, right? So it's very generic. Then you have these other names that are like, long drawn out names that are difficult to spell, right? So within that, it seems like this is some sort of like unique name. Quarless, I'm talking about. Welcome to who just came. So it's this unique name. And the fact is, I came into this world with it. I'm going to die with it. So it's just part of who I am. And like a turtle, everywhere I go, it's part of who I am. So what I've decided to do is, and again, this is to honor my father and to honor anyone else in my family. And I can't get too personal into things here, but I've gone through hell in the past few years, and I am committed to making sure that my name, and it doesn't matter about how known I become or not or whatever. The point is, Jim Quarless with the name Quarless, I'm going to make sure that name is honorable, that I honor my father, and I honor those in my family that resonate with what my message is. And my message is about being authentic and real, and being able to have an experience with others where we leave our environment and our world better than when we arrived. So that's the concept. So what I'm going to do in terms of like a business concept or strategy, I have Quarless.com as the domain. I've had it for like 20 years. So what I'm doing is and this is another unique element about the Quarless name. So first of all, there's some controversy about the name because there's a name, and I don't know if this is true. This is like what I've heard. The name, so we're all over there's only like, I think like 200 or 300 Quarlesses, let's say, in the whole world, okay? But we're in all continents, and mainly in like Europe and the US, but we're all over the place, right? And we're all different races and faiths and this kind of thing. But it's everything from like European white to African black, right? Quarless, okay? And we're all in the Caribbean. My father's originally from Barbados in the Caribbean. So, but the point is, it originated from, so there was like, it was involved with the slave trade. So it's like we have all mixed races, so it was like, I don't know the full history, but it's something like a slave owner was hooking up with his slaves, and then they kept the name and whatever. But the point is, here we are. And the concept, what I'm going to do as a business concept is everyone that has there's a few criteria here. Number one, you have to believe in the concept of what I'm trying to pursue, which is this authenticity. And we're gonna connect some sort of brand, like an apparel brand, sports brand. We've already had some family members that have gone into professional sports. So the idea is something where it's related to loyalty, like team, like this is what I'm sensing. Team, loyalty, authenticity, warrior spirit, right? Fairness, justice, okay? Like things like that, and my father was born in 1936, so maybe we do a little established 1936, something like that. I just want to make sure the thing's cool, it resonates well, but what the plan is to reach out to everyone who either was born with the Quarless surname, currently has it through marriage, or something like this, but you are connected to Quarless, and it could be directly through the bloodline, or it could be through marriage, right? So, and those people, as I focus on these other projects, which the intention is to make them huge, right? Including Operation Loyal Guardian, the charitable project where we're gonna change the world in terms of uplifting humanity. And again, stay with me. Hi, I think I know who that is. I'll check back and make sure after this is done. So stay with me, because this is what I've said before. There are vulnerable children that have been abused, are being abused, being neglected. They're orphans, right? And these are the future of humanity. So you have some vulnerable kid, and part of this whole enterprise, this whole project, is to grow something powerfully where we bring together different organizations, volunteers, people that are mentors, foster parents, adoptive parents, people. Anyway, I've talked about this in the past. My point is, this is like part of the big picture, okay? So in that, any Quarless member, whether it's someone I know directly that's like a cousin or whatever, or it's someone like in Europe that's like a long distance cousin, doesn't matter. If your name is Quarless, if your surname is Quarless, and you want to be part of this, and as the idea is to not worry about money, to have economic freedom. So if your surname is Quarless, or you were born with the surname Quarless, and you want to have economic freedom, and at the same time of being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want to also be helping support these vulnerable children, develop and become part of a greater humanity, that's what I'm offering. But the idea is, this is it's September 22nd, 2023, and I'm just putting it out there. So I'm not chasing people. If as people come on board, they want to help build the enterprise, then they're going to get rewarded for it. So that's what I'm offering, and this is the beauty of it, and this is what I'm coming back to. Like I said before, I've always been like, I'm cool, right? Like, people know me. I'm cool. I'm friendly with people, whatever. But I've always just been on my own. And it's been ever since I was a little kid, like I said, and it's what it is now. So that's the reality. And it's even if, and I'll just share now because fuck it. I've been single and celibate, and I love it because I just don't have to deal with bullshit. And no offense to any ladies out there, because you know how I do, right? So what I've been doing is, I focus on creating them. All right, I'm celibate most of the time. Occasionally I break my rule, but it's as I get older, it's like I'm very focused on just trying to build something amazing and focus on creating the music. And the music, this is why I'm so into the music. Electro Rock Love is my girl, and I love my girl. So I treat her very well. And I want to bring her out and show her to other people, and that's the secret. So now you know the secret of why I'm absolutely committed to this, and I'm going to do it. And again, I'm a loyal person, and I am committed to it, so I'm going to keep going until I stop breathing, okay? And like I said before the other day, as I'm rambling, my intention is that something I'm saying or doing is resonating with you, and you are taking it to heart and to something in your life, right? So my point is, like I said, stay with me. Oh yeah. You can't take life for granted. And actually, as we know, And we just know the realities of life. Like people close to us, people of our age, younger, older, they're here one day and they're not here the next, right? And we could be one of those people. It's just the reality, okay? I refer to it as God's lottery. So, and it's not a good or bad, who knows, right? It could be that we don't understand the nature of reality and we think this is the grand thing, this is it. But in reality, we're just in some kind of like game and we get plucked out to go do something else, right? Like we don't quite understand what it is, what we're experiencing, okay? So, but the point is, you have to assume that at any moment you could get plucked out. But you also hope that you make plans that you can go you plan for the 80, 90 years, but you live like you have today. So you appreciate today with gratitude and you make each day count in terms of how you live, in terms of how you show up. And at the same time, whatever those things are that are in you that you need to express, that you need to create, whatever it is, you pursue those things and you do them as long as you can, for as long as you have the ability and the skills to do them. So like I said before, I've created 12 songs. They're all in this subgenre that I'm coining. I am the founder. I'm the #1 electro rock love artist in the world because I'm the only electro rock love artist in the world. But my intention as the founder of Electro Love Rock is to Electro Rock Love. Sorry, I'm saying the wrong shit. Electro Rock Love, okay? As the founder of Electro Rock Love, my intention is to grow it into something very awesome. Other artists are welcome to come on board, but because I founded it, I sort of rise to the top. I'm there. It's like founder. I'm in Wikipedia. The founder. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, and this is the point, I was able to, after many, many years of having no creative ideas, the desire wasn't there, I suddenly got this burst of like spiritual creative energy, and I found this awesome producer, and he's helping me with the creation. He's a multi-instrumentalist. So we go, I play a little bit of bass, but I'm not good enough to create the music I've been creating. So what I do, I have all the music in my mind, right? I'll have like, anyway, I'm not going to get into a pitch on how I do my music, but the point is, I have all the different instruments in my mind, and it's almost like a little mini symphony. It's traditional instruments with modern, like digital clubby type effects as well. I blend it together like a symphony. You can hear my raspy ass voice, so I add my raspy voice to it, and it's the content is cool and it's respectful and it's sexy, right? So it's electro rock love. There's some spiritual elements, but I like to do it romantic, like wanna take you home, but nothing crazy. Our souls will make love, but our body's lazy. Boom, 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 boom. That was a girl named Chi, all right? I'm performing that on Saturday at 11 p.m. New York time. What else do you need to know? I think that's it, the 23rd of September. So, that with several other songs, I've been practicing, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, my point is, though, I've already created 12 songs. We're finishing up the final few. I feel confident that there's another 8 or more, right? So I can get 20 out in this life, right? It's like I got 20 in me. As I pursue those 20, what's going to happen? What could happen is they fade. The ideas fade. Maybe they don't come out that well. And then these 12 are the only thing that I have. And that's what I did in this life. And then at some point, my breath stops and I'm out, okay? And hopefully the music, whether I'm here or not, right? Who knows? Maybe it's in 100 years. I'm a famous artist. But in this time frame, it doesn't work for me. I don't care. I just have to create it. That's what I know. It's like God's telling me, just create the shit. Just get it out there, and somehow, some way, it's gonna be good for you and for other people. So that's what I'm doing. But my point is, and there could be more, right? I could make 20, and then I just keep going and going, and then I'm like some old ass man, and I have a song catalog of 50 songs or more, whatever. But this is the point: you must. I must, and this is why I'm so pleased that the fact that I'm here now. It's like phase 1 is complete. Phase 1 was like make the music. Phase 2 is present the music, including performing live. Phase 3 is world tour, right? Or let's say touring outside of my current city. If I could, that's the next step. If I'm based in Hong Kong. If I could get, Macau is right next door. If I could get Macau, and then I could get Bangkok, right? I could get Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling it. It's coming. All right? I'm manifesting that shit. So the point is, whatever your desires are in your life, you just have to start pursuing them, right? And you don't, and I've heard this before from other people, gurus, whatever, and it's very true. You don't worry about the how. You think big, you dream big, you don't focus on your past. If you keep focusing on your past, it's like carrying around a bunch of fucking garbage. You just gotta let it go. I knew that was you, Bree. What's up, girl? I saw there was like a little you're very small, and I didn't want to say the wrong person, but awesome. And everything, because I know this hits, I knew that was you, and I know this hits home because I said the point about people in our world not being with us. And so so hear me, please. The idea is let's not waste the opportunity that we're given, all right? Because so that's what I'm doing. And yeah. So this is cool. So we should have a private chat, and I can tell you what's really going on in my life because it's so fucked up. But it was fucked up. But now I've reached this new state where I feel amazing because it's like, yeah. Anyway, it feels great. So I don't know what's going on in your life, in your world. And I'm talking to you still, but I'm also talking to whoever's listening. Whatever that is, there's something there's something resonating in you. You want to express yourself. You want to do something. You know what I mean? You gotta just do it. So that's, I hope, what's happening. And maybe you also just want to listen to some cool ass music. All right? I'll share right now. So stay with me. All right. Real quick. This is for you, okay? So I got my song. I know it's backwards. The point is, I got a song list. I've been practicing and pulling from the song list. The problem is, or the issue was, some of the songs I made like a couple of years ago, and I haven't practiced. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta perform these songs. And as I started to practice the last few days, my vocals are like my vocal cords and all that have not been tuned right. So I've been like, I'm a little bit raspy. I've been practicing. So I'm just gonna select a group where I feel confident and comfortable about it. So I think it's gonna be cool. It's just a performance in the studio, but this is like the first step. So it'll be like, I'll be with my producer. He's also a DJ. So he'll just like play the music. I'll sing live vocals over the music. That's this Saturday night. And then the plan is we're looking at a show, like a live show with a crowd for October. And there's a big festival coming here in December. So I'm looking into that. And the idea is, we just keep going from there. So I'm pretty excited. And I think it's more than just performing music. Like I believe in the music. And yeah. And like I said, this is the music's like my girl. It's all right. This is the deal. There's like 12 songs here. I think like 9 or 10 of them are love songs. And there's one particular girl that's like, a few of the songs are about her. Some of them are real. Some of them are like true stories. Some of them are just, they're real in terms of like I see a subject and I want to paint her. It's almost like that, like, oh, but I don't pursue it in a way that's like I'm not trying to hook up. I'm just trying to create some art and I get inspired and then that's it. But it's kind of cool because it's like I got a bunch of girls, right? So, but they're all in my head. That's why that first EP I made is called Fantasies, because I'm like a little bit nutty. All right. So I think that's it. I'm gonna crash. It's like 3 a.m. But I had to get this. I've like committed to myself to just keep grinding and putting this content out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I won't do live so much anymore. I think I'll stick with every Sunday morning, U.S. time, New York time, which is Sunday evening, Hong Kong time. I'll do some kind of broadcast. I'm looking to get that going. I'm looking to get into oh, cool. Thank you. I'm looking to get into, stay with me, a podcast. And the podcast is specifically, and I'll just share because I said this on the front. I was abused as a child, and I've never shared this. Today's the first time I've shared this, but I was abused as a child, and that affected my ability to like form proper relationships with people and stuff like this. And so the point is, though, everyone's had fucked up experiences, right? So it's like we're all just people, and the main message of tonight's stream, and I got off track, was to not let, for those people that are authentic and and just, you know, straight shooters and people with good hearts, don't allow experiences you've had to make you bitter, to make you, you know, not appreciate life. And I could tell you, and I learned this from, so that was like the main theme, okay? I got a little bit off track, but one of the things that I've and it's hard. I know it's rough because it's like we've had some fucked up experiences, but it's like if everything was always happy, if everything was always good, you'd have no way to measure that. So you would not appreciate it effectively. So when things are bad, when you have horrible experiences like that, it's like the yin yang or whatever. So it's like if everything's always good, your baseline, it's like you don't know the proper way to measure it. So, you know, so it's like when you have a real shitty, bad, rainy storm, and then it's a sunny day, you're like, wow, this is so warm. I feel this, you know what I mean? But if every day was a sunny day, you'd be like, it's hot out here. This sucks. You feel me? So there's that. The other thing I just wanted to share, and I learned this in Buddhism, but it's this idea of impermanence. So basically everything dies. So it could be something as simple as, you know, a flower only lives a season and then it dies. Or a galaxy lives billions of years, but even a galaxy after billions of years, it dies. So the point is, and it's one of they have like in Buddhism, they have these 3 pillars, these 3 concepts, but this was one of them, and it really resonated. And it could be with anything. It could be like losing a loved one, dying yourself, the end of just like a breakup of a relationship, whatever it is. It's like you just know, and this is the point, because it has to do with appreciating things in a very deep way. And the way you appreciate things in a very deep way is by living in the present moment with whatever that thing is, knowing that you can't control the future, right? So it's like, so it's like when you have, and I'm actually thinking of somebody very close to me that's not with me anymore. So it's kind of like, oh yeah. So I appreciate that experience that I had. So the point is, because it's in the past and I'm in the present and I'm appreciating it. I'm appreciating a past experience in the present. But what I'm saying is the lesson I'm trying to express and the lesson learned is that don't take whatever the current situation is for granted and appreciate the current situation, because even the current situation could change, including, you not being here or somebody that you have now close to you not being here, right? So we never know how things are going to shift and change. So it's like as you're just going with the flow, appreciate it and take action that shows that you're not taking it for granted, which means, you know, pursuing whatever you want in your life, and making others around you feel appreciated and loved. You know what I mean? Cool. And yeah, I'm glad I'm because there's negative shit, right? So there's negative people. There are negative people. I call them bottom feeders, right? Especially the ones that fake ass mirror you and they're manipulative and sneaky and all that. So there's these people that exist, right? And but the reality is, and I'm not gonna stop trusting people, right? So I'm not gullible, but I can't live in a world where I'm like standoffish. You know what I mean? And this is one thing I do. I highly recommend you try this because it's awesome. I just try to make people smile. All right, I focus on girls. All right, so whether they're young, old, doesn't matter how they look. When I go out into the world, every time I encounter a woman, wherever, or a girl, whatever, wherever they are, I just try to like have a good experience, right? So it's like that surface level, good energy, good spirit energy works for me. So you can try that if you have any issues with dealing with people. But the problem is when I start to connect with someone and it starts to become more intimate, then it becomes like, oh, am I dealing with some shady characters, right? So, including people in my own family, which sucks. But, whatever. So, all right, I'm going to bail. It's, Bree, I think it's just me and you on right now. I feel like it's just you and me talking right now. So, it's kind of funny. So, I've been on here before alone, where it feels like I'm just by myself and I'm talking to myself in the mirror, like the camera's a mirror, and I feel a little bit I don't feel stupid, I feel a little bit crazy. So, and then I realized that this goes out into the internet and it's forever. So, whatever. All right, cool. Yeah. So anyway, I'm feeling good. So I appreciate you very much, and yeah, chat soon. I hope you can, I hope you can check out my perform. And again, don't expect anything amazing. Like, of course, expect amazing from me, but I mean like the setup. It's just us in the studio. I'll give maybe a little intro to like what the song is or whatever, and then I'll just perform the songs. I'm looking at about 8 songs to perform. And most of them I'm ready, like I'm getting there. I'm even going to perform a Chinese song. Lai ban bo yun gong, dim gai le, gam yao nga, fo yi dong gom. Basically what I'm saying is, I go into a hotel and I see this girl working at the counter, and I'm like, woo, girl, you're hot like fire, you know. Stay with me, because the English version is, oh, such a classy concierge you are. You're burning red hot like a star. So professional and natural and kind. Something like that. Superpowers too, yeah, reading my mind. Anyway, I think because I have the song's quite long, true story. Quite long. Kind of funny actually, because the whole song is about the guy. The guy believes that he is just too cool for school, right? So he goes into this hotel for a meeting, and there's this concierge girl in the front, very sweet, and he's like, hey girl, right? Like kicking it. And then as he's kicking it and he gets her contact and they're chatting and all this, the whole process, he thinks he thinks he got her. And then suddenly, and this is what the song's about, he realizes like, oh, I'm totally in love with this girl. And then the girl goes away, and he's left like, damn, what the hell just happened? And that's why the song's called Magical, because she fucking rocked his world and was gone like what was that about? So anyway, so the song's a little bit long. The true, it's actually a poem, right? The original is a poem. The poem, if it was a song, it would be 6 minutes long. So I had to cut it down, so it's 4 minutes long. But I needed to, it's more like a creative artistic thing, so I had to do it like that. I made the English version. The girl is actually from Hong Kong, so I made a Cantonese version. Even though she's gone, I made a Cantonese version as like a representation of how dopey she made me. Like, she made me so dopey, I memorized this 4-minute Chinese song. It's probably the most complex language in the world with the tones and all that. I spent multiple hours in the studio, like, getting it down. I have it memorized. But my point is, I don't know if it's good for the audience if I perform both versions. So it's like, I gotta choose one because it's 4 minutes. I don't want to do like 8 minutes of the same music. So I think I'm just gonna go with the Chinese version. And people have said, even though they don't know what the hell I'm saying, the style, it's like, it's cool anyway. So I'm just doing my thing, you know. Lei gong gok ho ho, mei mo lei jiao gok da, po yong gom ching yi, how jo ma do da. And the English, stay with me, because the English version of that is, it goes, ooh, you feel so good before we even touch. Yeah, feed our souls first. They love that so much. Yeah. All right. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, that's my girls are my music now. So, but it feels good. They're always there for me. You know what I mean? Anytime I feel lonely, here they are, and I have more than one. You know what I'm saying? Hi. So, anyway, yeah, fuck it. All right, cool. Thanks for the love. I need to get to, and real quick, it's crazy, because I'll tell you, hold on, stay with me. I went out, where the hell is this shit? Hold on. There it is. Oh, I'm in my undies. Let me make sure I'm, keeping it. Gotta keep my thing blocked. Yeah, I'm a player, that's right. But you shouldn't call me that because I'm alone by myself. So it's like, what you playing with, dog? All right, so I have this interface. I just got it. We still need to figure out how to do the broadcast properly. So I'm looking at. So this is the point. Either the simple way is we just perform it like we're at a show and we record, we record with the phone like I'm doing now, and the sound quality will be whatever, but you'll get a sense of it, right? So maybe that's what we do as a simple process for Saturday. But tomorrow we're going to the studio, so I'm actually going to do, I think, 1 or 2 songs live just to test tomorrow. That'll be what we do tomorrow for the live. It'll be a couple of songs, but we're going to try to like set this up and test it so the sound quality will be good. So it goes right through the, it'll basically play like normal style, and then my vocals will go through. That's the plan, to test it. But even if the test doesn't work well, whatever, we'll still perform the songs, and it is what it is. And this is the last point, because whatever you're focused on, and this is what I've heard, and it's true, it's like you can't wait for it to be perfect. You just start going forward, right? And then whatever, like, I have to perform at the studio, we're gonna do it no matter what, even if we're doing it like this through the phone, through the mixer, whatever, it'll get done. And then I'm looking at the live show with the crowd for October, and then we'll have another go at it. If the mixer doesn't work this time, we'll make sure the mixer works then, whatever. So we just got to keep going. Cool. All right. I feel like I want to give you a hug. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could just stay on with you. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna go. I'll see you soon. All right, thank you. Thank you, because I'm feeling the I'm feeling your love, and I was actually chatting with a gal, and it got a little, it was a little, the vibe it was a little wacky. The vibes were good, and then it sort of didn't work out or whatever. It didn't go anywhere, but there was a brief moment of like some good love feeling, and it was like, oh, that felt good. And then it was like, oh, but it's gone. But that brings us back to impermanence. So I appreciated it while it was there, and now it was gone, and I can't hold on. And that's part of the whole thing of being celibate. It just feels good not needing to like deal with that and worry about that. And if and when, someone comes and it's just like, damn. But that's my problem. I get dopey as fuck. So I just gotta be, it's like I know I'm supposed to be like the stoic, the stoic tough guy, whatever, don't show emotion and this, but I'm just like, I just am who I am. So like, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'd rather just, but I've had some good experiences, so it's like, before it worked because it was almost like, and maybe because I'm older now, it doesn't work the same, but before it was almost like caveman style. So it's like, if I see a girl, we're vibing, we're talking, it wasn't very complicated. It was very simple. It was a little bit caveman style, like, I like you. And she's like, I like you. And it's like, you're my girl. And it's, you know what I mean? It's like, grab that hand, like you're my girl. There are no, and then it sort of worked. And anyway, that now I don't know. It's just not. Maybe I'm just getting too old. I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I'd rather just. Oh, you know what? I heard recently, and I've heard it a few times, but it totally works because I don't know what your situation is now, but it's like no matter what's going on, relationship, whatever, it's like you just gotta focus on loving yourself and focusing on doing your thing, and it's not selfish, it's self-love, not selfish, okay? And when you focus on self-love, it's like all good. It's like, because the reality is, I know I date myself, and I'm like, damn, you are cool as hell, man. Damn, you're sexy, dog. It's like, I know. Man, you're all creative. Can we spend time together? It's like, yeah, Jim. Jim, can I spend time with you? Of course, dog. Anyway, I'm about to go to bed with Jim. You know what I'm saying? Oh. No, I'm just... Anyway. All right, cool. All right, I'll see you soon. Sending you love. All right. Have a good night, good day, and talk soon. All right. Bye. Hope to see you on Friday or Saturday. All right. Bye.